Today, let's see how to create a powerful Muzzle Flash in Unity. I have previously done a tutorial about it, but it was quite some time ago, so let's see an updated version of this with Unity 6 and let's see how to create a proper Muzzle Flash. As usual, all of these projects and many other visual effects packs are available on my Patreon page, where you can download them and use them in your games. Links below. So without further ado, let's jump right into this. So let's begin by creating a visual effect graph, which you can install in the package manager in case you don't have it, and begin with a minimal system. We can rename this to VFX Graph _Muzzle and double click to open it up. And in here we want to rename this to Muzzle. It's gonna be our muzzle. Say the bounce mode is manual with the size of 100 in the X, Y and Z, so even if the camera is not pointing at the effect still plays. Or you can increase even more the bounce. First thing we need is to spawn something, and that happens up here, where we can use a constant spawn rate of 1 particle each second. And it's gonna live precisely 0.15 seconds. A very short amount of lifetime, it's gonna happen really fast. On the output, we can remove it because we need to output an unlit mesh, a specific mesh that we are going to create for planes. But first, let's actually go back to our scene and create an empty that we can rename to VFX_Muzzle, reset the transform, and I'm gonna push it the value of 2 units on the y-axis so it isn't intersecting with the ground. And then we can drag and drop our VFX graph here and reset the transform as well. And as of now we are spawning a cube, which is not quite what we need. So we need Blender to create something very simple. If you don't have it, go ahead, download it, open it up, delete everything so you make sure you have a clean scene, and then with Shift A you want to add a plane. We are going to enter the edit mode with tab. Make sure you select everything, and with Shift D you want to duplicate this and then press escape so it stays right there, because we want to rotate it on the y-axis 90 degrees. You can press Y and then 90, and that's it. We have a biplane, and all we need is to select these 2 vertices right here, and with Shift S make sure we say cursor to select it, and then we go back to object mode by pressing tab, and up here we can set the origin to 3D cursor. This way it scales from this pivot right here, and that's extremely important, otherwise it will look weird, your muzzle. Let's just make sure we move this to the center of our world here in Blender, with first cursor to origin with Shift S, and then Shift S again but selection to cursor. This way the planes are centered with the world. One last thing we need to make sure is that the UVs are correctly mapped. So let's open the UV editor on the left, and if we select the horizontal edge, as you can see both are on the bottom part of the UVs, which means our texture needs to be vertical. If it looks like that, then you can move on. Rename this to Muzzle Plane 01. Apply all transforms with Ctrl A, and then in File export as an FBX. You can export directly to your project. Make sure selected objects is turned on, and on transform Z is up, and then you can also enable apply transforms and then press export. Back in Unity we can select our biplane here, our mesh plane, assign it to this output, and at this point you have something that looks like this. We can control the size with a set size, for example a value of 2. It may seem like only one plane is working, but that's because this shader by default it's only showing one side of the faces. Here we go, we have everything. You can fix that by selecting the output and on the inspector saying the cull mode is off. This way it becomes double-sided. Now we have VFX Graph, we have a mesh, we are just missing a texture. For that we are going to use Material Maker. It's an open source node-based tool to create textures and materials. Once you install it and you open it up, we can begin by searching for a box. This is going to be a very interesting texture. We want to create a rectangle by playing with the size, and then we want to invert this. This is going to work as a mask, because we are going to pick up a shape, a circle with 0 feather, so it has this hard edge, and with the tiler, circle is going to go to tile X and the inverted rectangle to the tile Y. And this is what happens. At the center is empty because of the rectangle, but all around we have these circles. Let's say we want these circles to repeat 8 times on the X and 9 times on the Y. And instead of being round the circles, we want to squeeze them on the X to 0.2 and on the Y to 0.4. Then we add a little bit of random offset, like 0.6, and random scale, like 0.4. And instead of having a random value, which is grayscale, we can say it's 0, and we will have this silhouette that we can invert again. And this is the beginning of a good muzzle, because from here we can use a transform and then grade it on the scale X. That's how amazing Material Maker is, because if you use a gradient on the scale X, you can control how it warps. Basically, we want to have a very pointy end at the top, something like this. And essentially now we are going to repeat this form a couple of times. First we want to use a transform to push it up, and then squeeze it. And if we use a tile 2x2, we can connect the result transform to each input, and from there use a circle splatter. And it will splatter all of this information based on the circle shape. As for the count, we want only 5. In terms of rings, we only want 1 ring to rule them all. 4 inputs. Let's squeeze on the X and stretch on the Y, and now we are getting to the most important part. Let's say the radius is 0, but the rotation increment is gonna be 0.25. We can add a little bit of randomness in the random rotation here, 3. A little bit of random scale too, 0.15. And now basically we need to rotate this back so it faces up. Maybe center this a little bit on the X, push it down on the Y, and rotate it around minus 30 degrees. We don't want to clamp this, we want to extend this, otherwise we get that artifact. Here we go. It's pretty much centered, and now the idea is to use a math node to add these right here. And we get a muzzle. We get the silhouette of a muzzle. With this transform we can push it down a little bit, and then use a colorize node to make sure that white turns to gray. And then we can transform this again, but this time we can push it down and scale it down as well. And we are going to join these two, so we get something like this. And if we blur this out, we get a really awesome result. 2048 by 2048 on the blur, sigma of 25. And if you want to add even more texture to this, you can use a math node and multiply what we have with a wavelet noise. We can scale it up a little bit on the y-axis, and if we join these two together, we get this awesome result. And now with a colorize node, you can play with the white values and with the black values, or increase the brightness, and that's it. Or you can always open up Crit or Photoshop and draw yourself a muzzle flash by hand. Other than that, you can export this 2048 by 2048 as a PNG. We can call it Muzzle Flash, for example, and assign it in VFX Graph. Here we go, it's blinking, flash, not that much is happening. Let's switch the blend mode from alpha to additive, but if you have a super bright background, use alpha instead. And now with the set scale, we can control a little bit better how this looks, and we can make it random. For sometimes it will stretch more, sometimes it will be smaller. For example, between 1.5 and 2 on the X, and 0.6 and 0.8 on the Y and on the Z. We get something that is stretched and not too wide, at least for now. And in this case we can randomize the angle on the X-axis. Let's say it's random, between 0 and 360. Now, as for the color, let's go ahead and pick something a little bit more orange, almost red. And then increase the intensity to 7, 6, 8, around those values. And it will look beautiful, as you can see. With a set color over life, it goes back to white because the composition is set to over white. We want to make sure it's multiply. And we only want to use 2 keys up here for the alpha. Exactly like this. This way it fades out, looking good. And now we only need to take care of the motion. We want this to grow up, but the composition needs to be multiplied, otherwise it's overwriting the previous set size we are using. We want something more like this curve, and then we can adjust this handle. It looks good. as you can see. Nice. I would still randomize the lifetime between 0.1 and 0.15, but let's add a few more elements for now. We want to add a cone to this. We can begin by copying and pasting this output, renaming it to cone, and yeah, we need a new mesh. It's a very simple one. For example, back to Blender, we can begin with a cylinder. On this left bottom panel, we can increase or decrease the vertex. In this case, 16 would be enough. And we want to make sure that the cap fill type is nothing, so the top and bottom faces disappear. What we can do now is enter edit mode, select this edge loop, and scale it down to 0. And then we want to push it down a value of -1. You can use this cursor right here, and select the bottom edge loop and push it up a value of 1. Let's first make sure that the UVs are correct. Yeah, we need to fix them. We want to go to top orthographic view. You can press 7 on numpad and then select everything, press U, and then select project from view bounds, so it fills out the UV space. Looking good. We can add a few edge loops with Ctrl R, press escape so it stays right there, add another one and then scale it down to more or less around here. And then by clicking up there to see through, we can select all of these vertices and press delete, so it's hollow on the center. Let's get out of the UV editing mode, and in the object mode, we want to rotate this 90 degrees on the X. Here we go. And we kind of need a cone shape, so we are going to go back in edit mode with tab, select this vertex at the center, and with this proportional editing on, we want to push it outwards. You can scroll up or down to control how much it influences, but basically we want to push a little bit this vertex outwards, just like this. Maybe a little bit more here, as well as here. Here we go, something more like a cone, exactly. We can shade smooth this, and then let's enter in edit mode, select this edge loop here, and with Shift S we want to say cursor to select it, and then go back to object mode, and up here on object we want to say set origin to 3D cursor. This way the pivot is right in the middle of our code. And in object mode, with Shift S we can say cursor to world origin, and with Shift S again, selection to cursor. Here we go. Let's rename it to Muzzle Cone, apply all transforms with Ctrl A, and export as an FBX. Make sure we only have the cone selected, and then export to Unity. Back in Unity, we can assign it here. Here we go. Beginning to see something. Alright, and we are going to need a proper texture for this as well. But it's actually rather easy, since we already have this Muzzle Flash created in Material Maker. We are going to reuse this with a transform. We wanted to push it up first, and then scale it down. So we can then once again use the circle splatter to spread this everywhere. We want 4 for the count, and only 1 ring. And as for the radius, it can be 0, but incremental rotation 15, and we will get this very beautiful sun shape kind of stuff. We can add some random rotation, 25. Random scale, it could be even higher maybe, but 0.1 gives us a good value. And let's go back here, because we are going to essentially adjust here a parameter, so we don't have that artifact on the translate Y. Here we go, the artifact is gone. And that's it, we can export this as a PNG 2048 by 2048. And back in Unity we can assign it to our cone. Here we go, looking good. Thanks to the UVs we created, it maps properly to the cone, and it's looking good. Now let's make sure we add a flash to this, something really bright, really fast. We can copy this cone output and rename it to Flash. And we can actually use the quad that comes by default with Unity. Assign the default particle, for example, and say the size is something like 3. Yeah, let me pause this for a second. As you can see, it's quite bright for now. Maybe let's change a little bit the color and decrease the intensity. But what we really need is to push this a little bit forward on the X with the set position, 0.2, here we go. And most important of all, let's make sure that we use an orient block, so it's always oriented to the camera position. Here we go, something like this. We can remove the set angle. Now that the main muzzle is done, let's work on adding a few details, for example some particles. We can copy this entire system and then remove these outputs. Let's rename it to particles. And down here we can drag a new output for particle unlit quad. It's not constantly going to spawn, we can use a periodic burst just to visualize this. After all, we will change to single bursts. The constant spawn rate and the periodic burst rate are useful to see the muzzle on a loop, basically. Let's say it's 10 for the count, and they should live between 0.2 and 0.6. And now let's make sure they spawn in a cone shape. So let's add here a set position, switch the shape to a cone, and we can spawn only on the base, and then decrease the base radius to 0.1. Let's also rotate this, minus 90, so it's facing in the same direction as the muzzle. And we can add velocity by using a set velocity from direction and speed. We can say the speed mode is random. For example, the minimum can be 5 and the maximum can be 15. And we can disable direction blend, so they go straight forward. Let's just add a delay up here, in case you are using the periodic burst. If you are using the single burst, don't worry about the delay. And then we can make sure they slow down on the update particle with a linear drag, set to 2. Here we go. The motion is looking good. Now let's take care of the aspect. Let's first increase their size to be between 0.5 and 1, random. Because we are going to use a set scale to squeeze them on the X and stretch them on the Y axis, 0.2 and 2. And then we can use an orient so they align with their velocity vector. And we can animate their size with a set size over life, where we use a curve that goes from big to small. And we can use a color, set color. We can go ahead and copy from the cone and paste it right here. Here we go, looking good, looking bright, looking impactful. Maybe too bright, the sparks, but feel free to adjust them. And that's it, we have a very impactful muzzle flash. You can create a bunch of variations with these just by switching textures, for example, and a couple of other changes like we did here on all of these muzzle flashes, which are available on my Patreon page, links below. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I want to say thank you to each patron that supported me last month, and a quick shout out to the top tier patrons, which are Albert, Amber Shia, Angel Mata, Anna Tronci, Ashkon Kalkali, Barker Kumova, Boris Radev, Chaos Games, Diego Marcos, Introversal, Eric Horner, Frosty Forty, Gabriel De Chichi, Ignacio Garrido, Jade, Ginuga 4, Joseph Balacio, Kirlian Silvestre, Leandro De Ricio, Link Dimension, Matt Mahon, Madrick Cambia, Oitsk, Pradip Sen, Rain Mast Sage, Ryan Lessard, Spock the Grey, Stephen B. Junko, Vulcan S, Very Suta, Whatever Marta, Rock, Pinching Pam, and me J. Kim. Thank you all very much for your support, it's really appreciated. I hope everyone enjoyed this tutorial and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye!